Wow, look at that. That's a big piece of rust that's come straight off there. The Audi TT Mk1 rear subframe is a part that's no longer available new from the dealerships. So if you need to replace yours, you're going to have to get hold of a second-hand part, refurbish it and fit it to the car. So join me on this journey as we inspect this rusty subframe. Look at the shoddy job someone's done to refurbish it. Press the bushes from this subframe and get it professionally powder coated before we attempt to fix the car. So let's get started. This video is going to be split into two parts, and this first part is going to be all about taking a closer look at the state of this subframe, because yours might be in a similar condition, and how we can tell if it's salvageable, and of course how we remove the 3 different styles of bush at home with a press. So we're going to get this subframe to the state that it's ready to take to the powder coaters. So the powder coating and results will be in a second video, which I will leave linked above, so you can come back and check that out at a later date once we've got it back from the powder coaters. Tools are very simple for this job. All you're going to need is this ball joint puller kit that I purchased from Amazon, and I paid around 25 to 30 pounds. It's currently retailing at 30 pounds. But you'll also need a good hammer and a few small chisels. That's it. That's all you need to remove the bushes. So here we have that Mk1 3.2 V6 subframe, and if we take a close look at this, I mean, you can see it's been painted with hammerite. The bushes have been left in place without removal prior to painting it. You can see the rust is still bubbling up here all over. But here is a great example of how rusty this subframe is. This is actual bits of metal that have come away. It is only surface rust and there's not any holes in it. Now don't forget, it's an actual MOT failure if there is a hole in your subframe. So it's important that we've caught this early enough that all this surface rust and bits of metal have not caused too much damage to the structural integrity of the subframe. The paint is not even dry when I've obtained it. It's just a really bad job, and you wouldn't want to fit this to your car. I think the subframe itself is pretty solid apart from the surface rust. Now, to do this properly, we need to get the bushes out, and then we'll take it off to a powder coater who will strip this right back to the bare metal, all of this oxidization, all of this rust, and it will look much better when it comes back from the powder coaters. And I'm going to give you a quick view of a front subframe that was in similar condition, but I've had that one professionally coated. This is my front subframe, and if we have a look under the polythene here, you can see how good this has been finished. There is still, as you can see there, some rust that is under the coat, but on the whole, I mean, the metalwork is fantastic. And I think if we undo all this polythene, you will see that the subframe's in really good condition. And I think we can get that rear subframe to look just as good. Looking at that front subframe, we can see the difference it makes to have it powder coated rather than what someone's done here and cover it in a coat of hammerite, because all the hammerite is done. It hasn't bonded to anything. It's still, you can see here, I'm chipping the paint off. It's not even hard. It's just the rust underneath is just dreadful all around here. So don't just paint your rusty products with hammerite. If you're going to do a proper job, get it off to a powder coater and get it shot blasted before you get rid of the rust once and for all. What I have found or not found while doing some research into the rear subframe for the Audi TT Mk1 here on YouTube is there's no specific guide talking about the bush removal. There are in fact 6 bushes on the Audi TT Mk1 rear subframe, and I'm going to identify them here so you can know what part I'm talking about. There are 4 subframe bushes and 2 diff bushes. The 4 subframe bushes are highlighted here. They are in identical pairs on either side of the subframe, but it's important to know each of these pairs is removed differently. The two rear ones, as you will see shortly, are pressed out, and the two front ones at the bottom are actually levered out, but we'll go into more detail on that shortly. You can see these bushes have been painted with hammerite in situ. We can see this bush is currently in place, but if we come over and look at this bush, you can see I've started to press that out. It's lifted now clear. The case has moved up, so we're going to push that one all the way out with the press. So this is how I'm pressing my bushes out. I've got this cup right here with a plate on the bottom on this huge G clamp that I'm using, or I would use, for pushing out ball joints on a car. And I've got my breaker bar attached to the top of this, and I'm just turning the breaker bar and forcing the bush out through the hole. And you can see that's a much lower down now, and the rubber's starting to give way as we push it through, compared to this one that we haven't started yet. So that's a long way through, so I reckon a few more turns and that will pop out. And as you get to this point, it does start to become pretty tough to even turn this clamp as we are pushing this bush straight through the subframe. So this bush is pushed almost the whole way through now. You can see that is coming through, and on the top you can see right here, so a couple of good whacks with a hammer will pop it through. And there it is. So that's one down and 5 to go. And looking at this bush now it's removed, it did get me thinking maybe this silver plate on the top of the bush means it might be a two-part bush, because there seems to be a plastic collar the whole way around. Maybe this top bit inserts through the rubber bush. So I'm just giving it a quick go on the next bush and trying to push from below against the other way round with the cup on top. Just a few turns to see if we get any movement to watch that pop out the other way. So let's see what's happening. Well, interesting to do it the other way. The handle seems to turn much easier, and it seems to have broken. You can see that bushing has literally come right out just by pushing it. So I think I was pushing the bushing the wrong way. So we're going to spin that off now. You can see that bush has just popped straight through the subframe, and we can just, where that plastic edge is broken off it, and that's just popped straight out. So I think we can wrestle that out nicely now. Persuasive tap out. And there we have the second bush out nice and easy. You can see where we've pushed it the other way and popped it out that direction. It's broken that plastic case, but yeah, that's all good, it's off. Taking a closer look at these bushes that have come out from the subframe, it would appear they are in two parts, and you can see there's this plastic collar right here. And I think what happens on these bushes, they're two parts, and I think this part with the plastic edge pushes into the subframe, and then this metal part here has got a shaft that goes all the way through that pushes through the middle of this rubber. They push together and become a tight seal. So I think that's the way they work. You can see on this one that the plastic edge here has completely come away, because we've tried to force that one through the bushing hole the wrong way and push it all the way out. But the good thing is they're now out of the car. Well, that's the two front rear subframe bushes off. Time to get a hammer and chisel and remove the two rear subframe bushes. So we're on to these next set of bushes, and you can see that I've already cleaned this up because this was completely caked in hammerite, and you can see this is a solid piece of aluminium right here. And the way that we remove these is, rather than pushing them through, is we have to get a chisel or something between to lever them out. You can see I've already broken the seal because there was paint the whole way round here previously. Working my way round, so I'm going to get the hammer and just give that a light tap. You can see that's really raising up now. Can I lever that out yet? Not quite. And it's important that we remove these ones first, because this differential bush that's down here, we can't get to this until we've removed this entire bush to push that out. So we've got to take these out before that. We don't have to take them out before the other subframe bushes, but this one must come out before you do the diffs. It is starting to crumble up a bit, this bush. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this down through the hole in the middle, but there is like a white edge in there. This bush is actually two parts. You can see where we've lifted this top part up, you can see the break between the two bushes. So once this top part of the bush is out, we'll be able to push the other one through from the top, and it should just pop out and we'll be left with the hole in the subframe. Now we're almost the whole way out, so I'm going to put this under. There you go. We'll just lift that free. And there it is. You can see how powdery and damaged there is. And it looks like it has some form crushable layer between the two. As we take a look, this white powder. And we can see the lower bush there. And there's this like white layer, like crush layer that's in there. So I think we can just, once we've got that cleaned out, we can just get an edge on that and hammer that through. See if we can tap that out. Oh yeah, there you go. So that's just fallen straight out. And what's interesting in this bush, it's almost like lost the edge off itself. Can you see that? So you can see they are two bits here, and they are together normally. So there's that line that goes straight through them. So there's the top and the bottom, but they've now come away, and I think they will be replaceable. Interestingly, they're not. These aren't like rubber bushes. These are like a metal, like an aluminium, something soft. That it must be aluminium by the look of them, but they are now out. And there we have the hole that remains from our first rear bush. So you can see now we've got 1, 2, 3 out. Over here we still need to remove the other bush using the same technique, and then we can work on the differential bushes that are here. You can see how much that's moving around now as it's freeing itself up from the subframe. And there it comes out. There we go, easy as that. So now we've got a good look at a differential bush right here. Now the other bush is not fouling it. And you can see there's a metal ring right around the outside, and then you've got the bush on the inside. So I'm not quite sure which is the best way to push this in and out. It looks to me like there is a rubber seal on the other side, so I think it must push from the outside in. So that's what I'm going to try and do first. I'm going to try and push this on this ring here and see if we can push that out. So here we have the diff bush again. So we're going to push from the outside in. We're going to put this cup over it like so, and this end cap to push against, and then I'm going to put this on the inside. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold that G-clamp until I've got this screwed up. So what I'm doing to start with, I'm wondering if that middle collar pushes all the way through before we remove the rubber bush. So I've put it under a bit of pressure with, I've got a cup on the other side of the bush, so the bush can't move out at all, but I'm wondering if that middle bit can now move out. So I'm just going to put that under pressure. You can see the bush is moving back. So I'm almost trying to get it to, oh, there we go. That came out so easy. I don't know if you saw that happen, but it's just come apart. That's really surprised me how easy that popped out. So we'll remove this, and we'll remove the cup once I've got it backed up enough. So looking down, you can see by putting pressure from the outside in, it's actually just popped that bush straight out. And this bush is made out of a lot of plastic, so it's pushed it clean of that. And I'm going to give that a little tap and see if it just comes all the way out. Oh, like that, yeah, that just popped straight out. So there we go, it is all one piece, and it just pops straight out. So as I said, from the outside you push it and it pops out to the inside. You've got this thick plastic collar around here. I was surprised how easy they came out, you know, compared to a control arm. these bushes just popping out really easy. Removing those bushes was actually much easier than I thought it was going to be. So we've got 6 holes now in our subframe that had the bushes. So if we look closely, what you can see, these vertical holes right here are where the differential bushes once sat. If we turn it over like that, you can see here are 2 of the subframe bush holes right here, and the other 2 are right there. So now we can take a closer look at the condition of this subframe, and it is pretty crusty, but I do think it's just surface rust and it's not structural. It definitely needs a good going over at the powder coaters and of course the sandblasters, because the paint that remains on it is shocking and it needs a professional to take a look at it. Now, the reason that I'm trying to do this is the subframe on the 3.2, which this will go on to, is currently crusty. It was picked up in the MOT, and the fact that it was picked up in the MOT would suggest that in time, if it's not treated, it will deteriorate. So it's important that I take that one off the car, get that powder coated, but I put this one on the car in its place. So I've got a spare hanging up, a bit like the front subframe that we looked at earlier. Now I also need to get a pair of rear arms. I'm not sure if the 225 rear arms fit the 3.2 because I've got a breaker in the garden where I could take the rear arms off that and then from that get those powder coated. Also, I've got a pair of front control arms that I'm going to take to the powder coater when I take this, because you might as well get the most bang for your buck at the powder coaters and take as much as possible to have refinished. I might even take a set of the old 3.2 V6 brakes down there as well. So that is stage 1 of this refurbishment complete. We've got the bushes out. We've taken a look at the state of this particular subframe. So next time you see this subframe, it will look remarkably different. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on removing subframes and inspecting a rear subframe on an Audi TT Mk1. Doing it the right way so you don't struggle. What makes this easier is if you've got a set of tools that you can use at home, such as that G-clamp and the various cups to remove these bushes, and following this step-by-step guide and the order in which I've done it, hopefully that's shown you how to do it and save you some time. I would recommend picking up that G-clamp set from Amazon. It is around £25, but I think it will save you a lot of pain making your own tools. Again, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then please do give it a thumbs up, and also think about subscribing to my channel where you'll find a whole host of content on the Audi TT Mk1. If you have enjoyed it and you want to help out the channel further, you can of course send me a super thanks or a super chat during this video to show your appreciation and maybe buy me a coffee. And of course, if you want to go that step further and support the channel, you can become a member with the button below. The membership is growing on the channel and we have lots of members only content, chat and features. So I'm hoping I can share more of that with you. As always, thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care.